and welcome to WB's new YouTube show, The Hard Way. Apparently we're on YouTube on WB's website now. No, we're not. I'm just kidding around. But, welcome to The Hard Way, guys, on WrestlingRingPost.com. I'm Steven Diggs Jr., and...
There's your cat. I'm Mick.
And that's Mick, apparently.
Smick.
And, really, don't have too much to talk about this week, because... trying to cover up the unnamed company hasn't gave us our endorsement check yet, so
They're not wrestling cups.
no, they're not. But there really hasn't been much news leading into WrestleMania yet, and we still don't have too much news going on.
There's always that gap that they always do. There won't be anything until after Elimination Chamber, and then that's when it starts to heat up.
If they got rid of Elimination Chamber, I think it would really help. But, well, anyways, I guess we'll cut into the news that we do have. So on Raw, we'll talk about Raw for a few minutes later, but on Raw, R-Truth about died because of The Miz. The Miz decided not to be in the way when R-Truth did was like a somersault, like front flip plancha thingamajigger over the top rope. Miz just kind of stepped out of the way, and they had to cart Truth out of the ring, and thankfully he escaped serious injury, but Miz's career didn't escape serious injury.
Well,
They suppose he's in the mid-card now.
I feel like he's been in the mid-card for the last few months. But pretty much after he's lost the title, he's been in the mid-card.
I'd say except for the Survivor Series stuff. I mean, he was in the main event. Him and R-Truth against Rock and Cena.
Yeah, but you got to look at, you had the two of the biggest guys that put that pay-per-view on, the two big sellers. You got to put them up against somebody. So they basically were like, well, we'll just take the two mid-card guys.
You got to put them up against Santino and Drew McIntyre. I guess it wouldn't really matter. The tickets would have still been the same. I mean, really, it's true.
Couldn't have been the Usos because they're related to The Rock. So,
well, that could have made more sense. Could have been a little more intriguing, maybe. But, other news than that, well, we were just discussing, WWE did finally put up all the YouTube shows.
Who goes number one, then number two?
only we're going to get that reference here. But,
why would you make two separate trips?
So, this is going to break down again. But, really, what else, WWE put those YouTube shows up. What's the Gadgets?
No, that was my name, Gadgets.
No. What's that show called?
Superstar Toys or something like that.
That sounds about right.
And it's pretty much like I called it.
Yeah.
It's Cribs meets like Attack of the Show. It's them. Like the first episode was Del Rio, and he goes car shopping, and he's buying like a bunch of cars. So it'll just be like, was it Daniel Bryan that said he's like a big video game guy?
Kofi's a really big video game guy.
Well, it might have been Kofi. It could be one where they go and he shows like all of his video games and like all the different collections, like the different systems.
Funny thing would be is that would
they'll
probably
go to
get a higher
Evan
rating
Bourne's
than all of the other videos.
They'll go to Evan Bourne's house and he'll show them his bong collection.
And his secret like pot room where it's like greenhouse.
And that's where they'll find Brian Kendrick.
That's why he's been missing on
That's
Impact.
where he's been.
But
what we talked about, the best show so far, like out of all of them, the one that if I probably will watch that one multiple times. Like I'll watch not multiple times, but I'll keep watching. Out of all the shows, the Are You Serious is probably my favorite, and that would be the only one I'll watch on a regular basis.
The one with Road Dogg and Josh Matthews. Well, speaking on that, the reason why they did that show...
Okay, Conan, speak on that.
But the reason why they did that show, they wanted to imitate Colt Cabana's... The
Cabana?
He has a YouTube video series. I believe it's that. Or it might be the Art of Wrestling. It might be the
Art of Wrestling podcast.
There's the Art of Wrestling podcast, but he has another show too. Creative Has Nothing to Do for You on YouTube, where it's like he always talks to the creative
No,
guy, and
that's-
the guy always makes like jokes.
That was actually filmed as a pilot that they were trying to get a sitcom made, and it never got picked up, so they just kept making it.
Have you seen any of them?
Yeah.
They're funny. One of them they make a Jewish joke. That's why they won't push him, because he's Jewish, and like and he gets all offended.
They're not-
And, like, things
they're not-
actually pretty. They're like really short clips, like a minute or 2 minutes. long.
They're
I like them.
they're chuckle funny, but they're not like super hilarious. I mean, they're about as
Yeah.
on the same type humor of Tyler Rex's show, and you didn't like that.
But they said that they took the idea to make that Road Dogg show using that as the template, which it's funny because those shows are drastically different, maybe in similar comedy.
My favorite part-
but I like Are You Serious more in some ways because you get to see these rare wrestling clips that you may
well, my favorite
forgot
part
about
of the,
or
my favorite part of
never
the
saw.
show is the Triple H puppet and
Yeah.
the blindfold challenge.
What is with the idea of it being a Triple H puppet? Like, who came up with the idea of, oh, hey, the Muppets were on Raw a few months back. Let's have basically a Muppet that's Triple H.
I think it was probably the Road Dogg. As like an
I-
inside joke thing. But here's what's funny.
Yeah.
I was watching the Three Stooges earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
and they were working as janitors, and they were working for a dentist, and the guy's name was I Yankum.
That's pretty good.
And I'm wondering if that's where Vince got the name for Isaac Yankum.
Well, could or whoever wrote it. Yeah, it's possible. The other funny thing about that show is, did you notice that Road Dogg made a bukkake joke in the first episode?
Yeah.
That was I can't believe that was on there. WWE being the TNT group that
you
they
didn't
are.
know?
That caught me off guard. I mean, that was a good one. That was a zinger there, Bazinga.
Yeah,
But
it's
That's the best show.
yeah, it's the best out of the whole bunch.
I mean, there's
well, the question is, I'm guessing the YouTube channel is because of WWE Network getting pushed back. This is their way of like.
Well, I think it's kind of twofold. I think that since they've been pushing more of the social networking things, they need to compete with these other, like obviously the Ziggler show's a lot like Tosh.0.
A lot like?
Yeah.
And the last I checked, it's the same show.
We're going to send him that clip and see if he'll put that on there and then make fun of us. I'll cut that right out. I'll send it right to him.
Hold on.
But no, like, so I think they're just trying to get like a new audience, which is never going to work. But at the same time, they're at least keeping wrestling fans watching
Well,
the
let's
show.
see.
And keeping them away from watching Impact and other wrestling leagues that are on YouTube.
Well, let's see.
That's maybe that's what they're thinking.
If I'm not a wrestling fan, do I want to watch a show on YouTube? Do I want to watch a clip on YouTube with Santino Morella walking around the back talking to people?
No.
Or do I want to see a black guy get hit by an ice cream truck?
Well, the ice cream truck video is pretty classic.
Or Go Bois.
That's
Go! Bois!
That's a classic. That's
Best ever.
That's a good one.
If we could figure out how to market our show like that.
It's hard, man. It's so random. You don't know. We need some. We
It
need
was-
one of us to fall out of our chair, like right now.
And see,
And something's gonna happen. Like something's gonna fall, or
But you
someone's
can't-
gonna come through our window.
you can't plan stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's gotta be something that just happens. Like it just happens.
Go Bois is the most genius thing I've ever seen, and like nobody wrote it. It just happened.
You can tell we have nothing to talk about this week because we're kind of stretching for shit right now. Stretching for stuff
That-
right now.
That and we got the blizzard of 63 outside, and it returned. And
It's back
it's cold.
for a vengeance.
It's cold. We work 40 hours a week. Like,
Yeah. But well, let's go to Raw. Let's go to Impact, I guess. No.
let's go. Let's talk about something we actually watched. Let's go ahead and talk about Raw.
I guess in all serious, Raw was what Raw was supposed to be.
I gotta give
You know what I mean?
I gotta give it to TNA that nothing's cured my insomnia like Impact in the last few months.
But Raw was Raw. I did call it that Triple H was going to turn down Undertaker.
We needed a sound effects there. It's like...
But I did call it that Triple H was going to turn down Undertaker's challenge. I knew that was going to happen.
Until Shawn comes.
And which you kind of... Didn't you say that last week too? And he's coming this week, and you know there's going to be something to do with that. Well, didn't Triple H come down during Shawn Michaels' return? Or Shawn Michaels' return match with The Undertaker? Didn't he come down... Didn't he, on a Raw... Didn't he confront... It was last year's WrestleMania, like a week or two before... And then Triple H was looking at The Undertaker, and then he turns to tell Shawn he shouldn't wrestle this match, he was going to lose. And I have a feeling that Shawn's going to try to say something to that to Triple H. Like he's going to taunt Triple H, telling him that you did not win. You did not end the streak. The streak has not ended.
We now have a returning segment. I don't know. And really, anymore, it's like... it's gotten to a point where it's really predictable. And then there's other times it's like, oh, they're just going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And instead they go in the opposite direction and do something really stupid. And you're like, oh my god, that storyline could have been so much better.
Well, speaking of that, how many more weeks is there still till the Elimination Chamber? Or what John and I said a couple weeks ago, the Elimination pay-per-view?
It's like 2 weeks.
I'm already set for the pay-per-view. We don't need just show the pay-per-view now and get it over with. And let's get the build up to WrestleMania and get the Rocks. Like, you think he's going to be on 4 Raws?
I'm not going to...
Up to WrestMania and get them out there.
I'm not going to pay hard-earned money to watch Elimination Chamber.
No.
When I could use my hard-earned money to buy Best of Clash of the Champions.
Yes, which is going to be a DVD. It was just announced earlier this morning.
By me. I just did it right now.
Yes. He wrote the news that... Looks like in May we're going to get a Best of the Clash of Champions DVD. 3D. Which means that we're going to have a blank disc, is what you said.
There wasn't really much.
Oh, man, there was.
Stuff
Clash of Champions was good.
It's nostalgia glasses, man. I'm telling you.
That's kind of true.
I've went back and I've rewatched like some of my old tapes and stuff. And back then you were like, yeah, this is awesome.
Well, they're like pay-per-views for free.
It's awesome.
You know?
Sting's taking on Rick Rude.
This Steiner.
Is awesome. And then in hindsight, you're like, wow, this is like a build-up match from like...
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it some way.
Because now we're looking back
cool
on
to
it.
see what it looks, to see what's on it.
Now we're looking back on it that like, you got to think at the time, WCW had their Saturday night show and they had their Sunday night show. And...
I think when they first started doing Clash of Champions, they didn't do both. Because the first Clash of Champions was against WrestleMania 6, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think they did Saturday and Sunday then.
The Saturday night show was around...
Well, they always had the Saturday night.
Yeah, the Sunday night show was still around.
I don't think it was around
that. They did both.
Oh, I could be wrong.
But the Saturday and the Sunday night shows, basically, most of the time the guys wrestled jobbers. They were squash matches. And
you have one main event.
And you have one main event.
And the main event wasn't like 2 superstars. It was more like a mid-card guy versus a big guy.
So, Clash of the Champions was basically them giving you a free pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And they started out once a year, and then eventually they did a few of them a year.
4 years is what they went to eventually, quarterly. Yeah. Like, in between their other shows... They would do 4 a year.
Yeah.
I think they did them all the way up to around the NWO, I believe, and then they stopped doing them. And then that's when Bischoff, though, started pushing more pay-per-views a year. And I think he went to 8 and then went to 12. Because they only had, I think, 4 at one time when they first started with Bischoff era. Like Starrcade, Halloween Havoc, maybe. And then it was like,
well,
whatever the other...
Starrcade...
War Games.
Yeah, Starrcade... Bash
at the Beach. That was the other big one.
Great American Bash.
Oh, Great American Bash. That's it.
Starrcade, Great American Bash, and there was another one. Starrcade.
War Games. They've had Battle Bowl for a long. Battle Bowl was 91, 90.
Yeah, but
that was in Starrcade.
War Games was
War Games though was World War 3.
Yeah.
World War 3.
That was the 3.
World War 3.
The 3
Yeah, because that was the
But no, Starrcade and Great American Bash went all the way back to the NWA.
Oh, Starrcade's the original.
Yeah.
The original show, yeah.
Which,
I mean, they already got a Best of Starcade DVD. Where's the other ones? Where's the Best of? I'd like to see a Best of Bash to the Beach.
well, what's
Best
crazy?
of Halloween have their gimmicky theme pay-per-views.
What's crazy
I like
is
those.
everybody always said Starcade was WCW's WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, if you look at the DVD, Starcade was around before WrestleMania. So technically,
No, Starcade
WWE's
was around. No,
WrestleMania.
Starcade came out right after WrestleMania.
No, it didn't.
I'm
it
pretty
started,
sure it came
no,
out right after
started in the
WrestleMania.
early 80s.
WrestleMania
Late
started
70s,
in-
early 80s.
I don't think Starcade did.
Yeah, because there's matches on there with Flair when he first came and was a nobody and was taking on Harley Race and wins the title. Yeah. Oh no, Starcade predated WrestleMania. So
Well,
like
it still is
anything,
their WrestleMania. But WrestleMania was. Let's be honest.
But it should
Looking
be-
back now,
it should be
WrestleMania is much more important
WWE's
than Starcade.
WWE's WrestleMania, that's their Starcade.
I think they should rename the December pay-per-view to Starcade.
Nah, they'll never do that.
I know they won't, but they kept the Great American Bash name for a while, then they just called it Bash for a while. It was kind of odd.
I just thought it was weird that the WCW had a Great American Bash and then there was Bash at the Beach. It's like
Yeah, two bashes, but the cool thing was the Great American Bash like a July 4th theme.
Bash
Bash
at the Beach
like a
was
summer.
terrible.
I like Bash the Beach.
Oh God, where they had the match with
Remember Ray and Jericho fought and he jumped off the lifeguard stand?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the one year they had
How do you hate
Macho
that?
Man and Ric Flair, and it was outside.
Bash the Beach also had the Hogan heel turn. That was a Bash at the Beach.
Yeah, that was the only cool time.
Oh
they did
man, Bash
anything.
at the Beach was
They were
great.
terrible. Like it looks so
I
hokey.
like. That's
Yeah,
why
I like
WCW
hokey.
was cool.
RoboCop.
Well, not saying that all of WCW was cool. We all know there's eras of WCW that weren't that great.
Just admit to the people you're gay for robots.
I don't even remember. Actually, I guess I don't remember RoboCop being there. I mean, I've seen the video obviously, but I don't remember as a kid watching RoboCop be there.
Sid was afraid.
I know Sid was afraid. Why would Sid be afraid? He could just. Well, then again, I guess he can't do a big boot without breaking a leg.
Well, he can't.
He's off the top rope.
He also can't break up a barbershop without getting hit in the face with some shaving cream.
That's on the Road Dogg YouTube show. Are you serious? I never knew that. I've never heard anybody talk about that. Like, of all the things everyone, like, wrestle crap kind of, or botchamania kind of stuff, no one's ever talked about that. Some guy must have sat through the footage and just randomly came across that and was like, we gotta show that. Which
Well,
is cool. That's what's awesome about that show.
Well-
to see stuff like that.
Two I can tell you right now that will never be on there, and one involves Sid. One is the Iron Sheik, when Hogan won the title, when he puts him in the camel clutch and he gets a bulge.
Yeah, it's in the front.
And
yeah.
then the opposite happens to Sid. Sid's in a match, and all of a sudden, in the back of his trunk, there's a bulge.
Right. Yeah. So,
Those I don't think you'll ever see on there.
you think we'll ever see a muffler fall out?
I don't even think we'll
Dusty
hear.
Rhodes muffler?
I don't even think we'll hear reference of it.
No, not at all. But Impact. Did you watch any Impact?
Yeah.
Sting wrestled at Impact. It was kind of like a special treat. His face paint is like Joker face paint.
It was the best ever.
Yeah, it looked really cool. It looked like a smudgy, like dirty.
Who knew
bloody-
England had juggalos? Again, recurring segment.
But I mean, other than that, Impact's Impact. But I seriously think to the point now where all they had to do was run reruns of Hulk Hogan Knows Best and have the teeny logo in the corner get the same rating. I don't think it really matters what's on there as long as it's just called Impact Wrestling. The same people watch it.
Well, see, the thing of it is,
It's not that some of the things are bad or good on there. There's plenty of decent stuff sometimes, but at the same time,
the thing of it,
it's just meh.
if you can stay awake,
That's your problem.
yeah, Impact's like, big thing of NyQuil to me.
It's Mike Tenay. I think that's the big. They need Don West back. Get rid of Taz and bring back Don West. He's screaming all the time. Yo,
Yeah, hard
go
is
get
to
you to buy their stuff.
And then Taz's random gibberish from time
Yo,
to
my
time. where it's like,
gosh. And it's like, what are you saying, Taz?
how is it possible that a commentator can make Booker T look good?
Actually, no. I think Taz is better than Booker T.
Oh, I disagree,
What's
my
that
friend.
weird thing that Booker T always says? There's a weird line he constantly says.
Jailboy?
Nah,
Is it the word that we're not allowed to use on TV?
No, it's not that one.
Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you. You know the rest.
But I guess we'll go to SmackDown and talk about that really nothing really matters on SmackDown and all the important stuff's on Raw.
And Natalia farts.
And Natalia farts. That's it. On to SmackDown, Natalia farts. Now let's go on to the major segment of the week, Off the Ropes, where we have nothing to talk about except random crappy wrestling stuff from our past or present or future. I don't know. We'll just talk about random crap.
Remember when Big John Studd used to do Six Flag commercials?
No, really? Did he really?
Him and his son, yeah. Like,
No, really? That's odd.
yeah, I remember seeing him like,
It's like, yeah, this is perfect for this segment. Was you been thinking about this one for a little bit or something?
yeah.
You really had this one come off the cuff. That was good.
That's what they need on that. Like, are you serious? They need to take those old commercials with like Big John Studd and his son. At Six Flags.
Do you know a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing a return for like some stupid gimmicky thing?
Iron Mike Sharp.
The Goon.
Why?
Just as like a joke thing. Like Santino could fight him or bring him back or something. Was that a song? He wore the lifts to make it look like he had hockey skate blades on. It
That's
was
just
like,
because he was like 2 foot tall.
well, that guy looked like a creeper. He looked creepy as hell.
Like a boy toucher? That
Hey.
kind of creeper?
At Law & Order SVU, he'd be on an episode of that. The Goon comes around the corner. He's got the hockey skates and the stick. He's got his pads on.
No, he'd have maybe pads and something that rhymes with a stick. But like,
Well, he has a stick. But, no, seriously. Would you ever like to see the six-sided ring again? In like TNA or like one of the major promotions in America?
yes.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Dragon Gate, like, use it. Or even Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor would never use it, I don't think, but I don't care for the six-sided ring. Not that it's terrible, it's not.
I don't want to see it.
It doesn't add anything different though. That's all. That's just it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it doesn't what? We had two
That's
new
too-
ring posts and we shortened the length of the ropes. That's it. The ropes aren't as long and then you get
They made the
traditionally
cages.
wrestling system
I think
in
I think-
America, in Canada, wrestling traditionally
I think the
four-sided ring,
six-sided
boxing ring.
cage looks a lot cooler, and it's easier to see than the four-sided cage.
I can give you that. It also led to
It's a whole new dimension.
well, when Elix Skipper, he was able to do that walk across.
Yeah.
And it made it easier for him to do that. Because if that was just big one long rail, he'd fall off probably.
All right. So you have your four-sided ring, you have a six-sided ring,
Mhm.
and then you have the octagon.
Oh, I'm sure the UFC won't sue them for that. Actually, they will sue you for that, apparently. They went after all these independent, like, local MMA leagues that use an octagon. So they had to change, like, they'll use, like, 10-sided rings. Or they use that's why a lot of them use boxing rings. I'm not kidding you. They pretty much, like, have, like, the stranglehold. Like, I guess they say it's copyright infringement. Like,
They invented the cage.
well, did anyone use the 8-sided octagon, like that style cage before them?
Yeah,
That's-
but UFC didn't start out in that cage.
Yeah, it did. First UFC was in that.
Yeah, the
It's an
first
octagon.
UFC
All time fighting
televised.
series. No, the pay-per-views.
Yeah, but I'm talking about old UFC. They never used the cage.
Speaking of that, you know, when I was a kid, one of my favorite wrestlers was Steve Blackman. He got loud pops when he came out in a hardcore match, and he'd do like all those crazy martial arts things that like swing like, they do like a spinning back fist with like a trash can lid.
That's only because people thought it was Chuck Norris, and when they realized it wasn't,
No, come on, man.
Chuck Norris
Steve
and his
Blackman.
Karate Commandos.
I heard
No,
he's got a wrestling training school. I heard now.
So do you remember when, well, they weren't Booker T and Stevie Ray at the time.
I think I might know what you're going to. This is bad.
When they did the whole slave angle?
Cool and Kane. That was their
It was
names.
Cole and Cash.
No, I thought it was Kane. They were both K-A-K-K. Oh no.
That was great.
Well, you know what's scary? is that they were with Colonel Parker, weren't they? But his is a
C.
C, but still it kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure it might be. Well, even if it was Cash, it still would work. That's terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember them from GWF, the Global Wrestling Federation, was on ESPN. I remember coming home as a kid from about 3 o'clock and watching those.
There's a wrestler. If anybody knows whatever happened to this guy, I don't know if he became another like character, if the guy's alive, if the guy just went back to his home planet.
He does commercials for Six Flags.
He might be doing commercials for Six Flags. Was it? It might have been Global GWF.
Yeah,
Was that the one that was
on
in like
ESPN.
Universal Studios?
No, theirs was in Texas.
Maybe it was Universal Wrestling, is what I'm thinking.
UWF?
And because before he was Adam Bomb,
Oh,
Night Stalker.
Brian Clark?
Brian Clark was Night Stalker. But there was a guy named, he was called Thor. And he came out and he had this cape and he would have the hammer and the hammer would like shoot sparks and smoke out of the end of it. And he'd like come in the ring and he feuded with Night Stalker. And like, dude, Brian Clark had this like axe that he carried around. And they had to have probably, well, no, I guess it seemed at the time as a kid, it was like, man, they probably had to spend a lot of money.
It was
really,
like some crappy paper mache thing you throw.
No, it was a real
some
one.
Roman
But
candles.
I was talking about, he one time like came after Thor with it, and he stabbed it into the ring.
Oh.
And I was thinking, you know, at the time as a kid, it was like, man, that's got to be really expensive. And now knowing they just pick up that piece of plywood.
Yeah.
Piece of plywood down.
Yes. There's nothing to it now. Do you remember that Night Stalker was in WCW for a while, early 90s? They tried to push him to the moon, but then they realized the guy couldn't wrestle.
Yeah, because,
like, you know. Well, like, he made, like, you know, a lot of the bad wrestlers look good.
Do you remember, do you know that The Undertaker was a masked wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the Punisher.
Punisher, that was it. And I mean, he was in WCW too. He was Mean Mark Calloway, and he looked like a dork. He had like an Amish beard,
and he had a mullet.
Yes. Oh god. If there, you know, a lot of cool things happened in '80s wrestling, and some of the stories are good, like the ideas that could even be used now. But the mullets and stuff like that, no, never again, never again.
Well,
never again.
Apparently Eddie Guerrero never grew out of that phase.
Well, he did finally.
No, remember he like even in
did.
WWE he had a mullet.
Well, he did until like when he came back from the one rehab or whatever, and he had the short hair.
And that other guy.
Took him a long time.
That other guy. That
There was
he used
another
to hang
guy.
out with.
There was
he had
another guy. He had a mask at one time too.
Yeah, Pegasus Kid. That we're allowed to talk
We
about.
can say that. We can say that. Okay.
I just remember seeing him in like early WCW.
Oh
And
yeah.
He had the craziest hair because his hair, like, how do I describe it? His hair was like this freaking high.
Yeah, it looked
was like
real,
all.
it looked thin almost too.
Yeah, it was all like kind of like he took like bangs or whatever long hair he had and just like teased it real high.
Mm-hmm.
It looked crazy.
There's old photos of Triple H with long hair that looks like that, and it looks like someone photoshopped old Ric Flair long hair images on Triple H, but it's actually Triple H's hair.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest
Well,
thing.
he's another big Flair fan.
Oh! Another random news
Mean
clip.
Gene's Pizza?
WBE
Is that what we're gonna have for dinner?
were in
Mean Gene's
Dubai
Pizza?
this weekend. They didn't let the Divas go because of all the
beheadings?
United Arab Emirates, the pretty much the
They wouldn't get 'em
the
back?
complete full clothing. Oh my God, what they'd wear to the ring? Yeah, pretty much. Well, in the world's largest skyscraper, they had a press conference at the very top of the building, like the very top floor is this big open.
I
Cena,
actually looked
CM
up.
Punk, and
I actually looked up that building. Oh my god.
oh yeah, it's above the clouds.
Yeah, like
You look down and see
if
clouds.
you can't see that from space, oh my god.
Well, anyways, so Cena, R-Truth, and CM Punk were giving like speeches about, you know, being glad to be in the Middle East and whatnot. Kane comes out and Cena puts him through a table, and he knocked his hat off and screwed up. He went like this, and he hit Cena in the face, and his hat went sideways, and then he went right in and knocked it off. And Cena attitude adjusted him through the table. But then someone...
I don't think anybody but me saw that.
That's okay. Well, they see my hand. But anyways, the weird part about it is that when they were rehearsing that, someone got pictures of that and posted online.
And Kane didn't have his hair.
No, Kane was in he was in his normal street clothes. He has hair again, and it looked odd, like in the front it kind of has like the way yours moves, but then like all of a sudden it's really balding right here, and then all of a sudden it's real like stringy, but like dry. It looks like he wears the mask about 23 hours a day, and then it has only 1 hour to really let this hair kind of relax. But he's, oh my god, it looks so goopy because Cena's like dressed like Cena, and you can see R-Truth behind him.
Wait a minute, what do you mean Cena's dressed like Cena? That's
Cena's just
how
dressed
he
like
dresses.
Well, he probably is, but the funny thing is like you almost look at Kane, and he's got a polo on. He looks like he looks like a middle-aged retired guy that's going to sell you a used car or a mobile
Well, he did.
home.
Well, remember he did all those videos where he was telling people to vote. I forget who wanted people to vote.
He's a Ron Paul supporter. He's a big Ron Paul guy. At least last election
He's
was,
probably
I'm
the
sure,
biggest
but-
Ron Paul guy.
Probably physically. I mean, who else would there be? Like Undertaker? Well, Kane's bigger. Kane's bigger than the Undertaker.
What do you mean?
Taller.
No.
Undertaker's tall.
Muscle-wise, I'd say yeah.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say to the 25 people that are probably going to watch this video?
Hi, people.
Please watch us more.
Comment.
Yeah.
Like, comment.
Comment's
Let
good.
us know what.
Yeah, please.
Let us know what you want.
Yeah, and man, seriously, like,
I'm thinking.
WWE needs to get better before WrestleMania because I want more to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm getting
and
more news and more
I know.
intriguing things.
I
to
know
happen,
that a lot of.
please.
I know a lot of women don't watch wrestling, but like, it's like dealing with women. Like, just tell us what you want. We'll do it.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
go check out WrestlingRingPost.com, please. See you guys later.
Leave comments. Send us stuff. If you're a hot chick, send photos.
Send photos to me. See ya.